Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Boba7772, and today I'm going to be doing kind of a haul slash overlook slash review of these Super Smash Bros. Amiibo figures. So without further ado, let's get started. So these range from some of the most common, like Mario, to some of the most rare, like Meta Knight, across Wave 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to go from left to right and just kind of go over the packaging real quick. All of them are in American packaging except for Dedede, which is in Japanese packaging. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, we have Luigi. He's in his planking position. Green back of the box. We can see Luigi is spelled out across there. And then we see Luigi kind of doing his plank. So yeah, I don't like this pose, gonna be honest, and I'm looking forward to the new Luigi coming out more, but he looks really good. I love how they did the eyes and everything. I think that it looks really cool, even if it doesn't, yeah, it looks a little bit funky, but it looks cool. And then like all of the amiibos, I'm not going to go over this for each one, but pretty much it has amiibo at the bottom. Some warning stuff, another warning thing, white bottom, and then we can see at the back here Luigi is battling Mario and winning, fight as friend or foe, blah blah blah. So that was the Luigi. Now we have Mario. So we have a nice picture of Mario here, and then Mario plastered there, and then we can see Mario's eyes. The eyes are not painted well, and I'll go over this on the figure, but the blue part of the eye, which you can kind of see if it'll focus, the blue part of the eye is a little bit off of the white part. You can really see if you look at the where the blue and the white part of the eye meet at the bottom, you can really see that they are not really that fit together. But so there is Mario. Now we have Meta Knight. So we have a cool image of Meta Knight up here. Actually just got him a few minutes ago. We have the really awesome Meta Knight here. And I'm not sure if this is part of the figure or what, but so the mask is dirty and the shoulder pads are kind of like the way they're painted. I don't know if it's sloppy or if it's just if it was meant to do that, but I think it looks really cool. And then just all around Meta Knight looks amazing. On the back, by the way, we see him fighting Bowser, and on the back of the Mario one, we see Mario fighting the villager. So then we get to Dedede. This is a Japanese version. So we have Amiibo down here, not sure what that says below it, and then Super Smash Bros. There, and then that probably just says Dedede in Japanese below it. I do believe this is Japanese. So then we have Dedede, which is, I believe, one of the more solid looking figures. He looks really cool. We see him battling Mario on the back. We see that little image of him with all of these I guess random, I guess it's some kind of code for which one Dedede is. Nintendo.co.jp/amiibo for the website. Got some more stuff just all over the place. It looks really cool. I actually prefer the Japanese packaging to the American packaging. And then last but not least, we have Fox. So Fox is from the Star Fox series. Really cool up here. I love how his eye is actually behind it, though I still think that this pose is kind of a little bit odd, especially the blue stands, but what are you gonna do? He looks really good. I ordered him online from like GameStop or something, and then we can see him fighting Mario there. So that is kind of a packaging overview of these 5. So let's open them up and review the figures singly, and also there's going to be, I believe, 2 more that I'm going to add in here. Alright, so I have actually, what is this, 9 amiibos that I'm going to be doing in this, so ranging from you know, common to rare and across all 3 waves. So first of all, let's start with Mario, the most basic one that you'll probably find in store. This amiibo is very, very neat. I think that the sculpting on the overalls, like, They actually put, I guess you could say, texture in there, and it feels really nice. That was the absolute first thing I noticed about this. One thing I do not like that looks just really odd, and I don't know if it's intentional, is if you can see kind of on his knee and his the crotch part of his overalls, and on this leg too, the paint looks a bit worn. Like there's supposed to be, you know, the same kind of blue on his overalls, but it's just not. It looks faded, which looks really bad. So I'm kind of disappointed about that. But for the most part, this figure is really cool. The fireball that he comes with is translucent, and I absolutely love how they did his face. Though this still is not a pose of Mario I would have chosen. So next we have Donkey Kong, another very common one. Once again, in a pose I do not like at all. We can see his tie over here just kind of hanging off to the side. It's kind of hard plastic, but it's still a little bit movable. And then and this is something that they did on Lucario that I love too. They didn't just make the fur you know, just kind of sitting there solid. They actually gave it texture, which I really like. However, there is not much of a color difference. I mean, if you look really closely, it looks like there's some lighter areas and some darker areas that might just be shade. For the most part, it looks like they could have painted it a little bit better. I am not a big fan of the way that they painted him or the way that they posed him, but the sculpt looks really cool. Next we have Fox from the Star Fox games. I was able to get him on, I believe, GameStop.com or Target.com or something the other day. And he's been, he was common and then he was rare for a while and now he's common again. It's really strange with him, but his pose, once again, don't like. I wish that he could have just been standing there looking cool, but instead he's like running for some reason. The fur on him is kind of texturized. It's not as much as Donkey Kong or anything, but then you wouldn't really expect it to. The paint applications on his tail are absolutely amazing. Same with his face. I absolutely love what they did. If I could have changed a couple things on this figure, I would have made the monocle thing, or the thing that goes in front of his eye, a little bit more translucent, and then I would not have made it blue down here for the stands. But that's just me. All in all, he's really cool though, and they did a really good job on him. I think that he just looks awesome. Check out his shirt and his jacket and everything. But yeah, so there's Fox. Now we're getting into wave 2, Luigi, the most common one from this wave. So he's just doing a forward plank, nothing too special. His overalls, like Mario, have texture on them. His overalls are a bit darker than Mario's. And then I forgot, I was gonna go over it with Luigi, but it was Mario who had this problem. Luigi's eyes are really nice. He's just all in all a really cool figure, except for the pose sucks, but you know, we all knew that. And then Mario's eye, you can kind of see right there. It'll focus, yeah. The paint job on his eye is not really in tune with the white part, which is really a shame, because I guess that I could return him and get another Mario figure, but I don't want to. I don't really want to go outing anymore today to get more of them. But okay, so next we have Diddy Kong. The first thing I want to say about Diddy Kong is his eyes look awful. Their spacing is bad, and this is probably not on all of them, but on mine he's awful. He's got a yellow stand like Link, so it looks like he's peeing. It looks really awkward, but for the most part, it's really cool. I love the tail. I've been playing with it a lot, just holding him by the tail and stuff. And the fur itself, even the fur on the tail, is really nicely texturized. And one thing I do have a slight, I mean, it's just nitpicking at this point, but with Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong is that their actual skin part, like their mouth and hands and feet and everything, I think it should be a little bit lighter. But then again, you know, that's just nitpicking. The pose is kind of dumb, once again, but most of these are. The eyes are the worst part, but the t-shirt and the hat are really cool. And the tail, I absolutely love the tail. Next is Captain Falcon. Once again, a really strange pose. Don't know why they decided to do this, but yeah, there's Captain Falcon. I found him at a Hastings store, so I would check those because he's been appearing, you know, from place to place every once in a while. I absolutely love the sculpting on this guy. I've had a while to look over him actually, and on his legs and on his wrist glove things, I think that it looks the absolute best. I absolutely love the gun holster there too, and the paint application on his back with this. That is probably my favorite part of the entire figure. And then you can see, you know, he has abs, and he has his visor down, and then he's got his really awkward kick. So next off we have Sonic. I only have 3 more, including Sonic. So Sonic is pretty much, you know, Sega's mascot, and thanks to this we can finally have Mario and Sonic duke it out. So yeah, Mario is obviously better though. But I absolutely love Sonic. He's really cool. Once again, like most of these, his pose is very odd. I don't get why they made him. I mean, I get why they did it in a running pose, because Sonic runs, but I would rather him just stood there, like, you know, in some just standing there pose, because these action poses just, I'm not a big fan of, and that's personal preference, but it's a lot of people, I do believe, hold that same value with these figures, or belief with these figures. So yeah, the sculpting, and it's really not much to it except for the little spiky hair things back here. It's a basic paint job with blue and white and red, and then some gold and green added for certain parts, and then this tan color for his arms and chest and ears. But for the most part, he's, you know, same as any of the rest of them. Really bad pose. Now, this next one I'm about to show you is actually one of the, I own quite a few AMIIBOs now, and of all the ones I own, I really only like 2 of their poses. One of them would be Pikachu, and the other one is, King Dedede. I absolutely love this pose. I think it looks awesome. He's just standing there, which is a pose I prefer. But I got this is a Japanese version, so there's not a physical difference with the figure. So his kind of grab ham, band ham thing up here, not sure if it's supposed to be worn, but they could have painted it a bit better with the paint job. It looks very sloppy right here. You can just see like the black lines going across the barrels. The star is not on center with the sculpting, as you can kind of see there. The paint job and the sculpting are not on par. I really like how they have the kind of like sparkly silver coat on him. I think that that is a really nice touch. And then they actually have all of this texturized down here, so you can actually feel the sculpt. So I think that that was really cool too. His eye, there's a bit of a paint bulge thing there that makes it a bit like how that part's supposed to be smooth on his eye. It actually makes it a bit thicker, which isn't that noticeable, but it's still noticeable to be like, that sucks type thing. But all in all, this is a really cool figure. They do have obvious flaws, like they have on most of them, but and there's something I really love, those how they have those just solid paint designs on them. On just some of the figures, I think it looks amazing. But yeah, okay, so that's Dedede, probably my favorite of all of these, pose-wise and everything. And then the next one, the one I just got a few minutes ago, the gold mine of them all, in my opinion, my absolute favorite, Meta Knight. By absolute favorite, not favorite sculpting, because the sculpting's it's not as terrible as the rest of these guys, but it's not great either. So Meta Knight is pretty much, you know, just a blue ball, kind of like Kirby's a pink ball, this one's a blue ball. He's got his mask on, and then you can see his eyes going through with the shadow of, they have black painted over the blue part of the skin, just because it's supposed to be the shadow. And then he has a really cool sword here, and then he's got killer wings. The way that they did these wings I absolutely love. They're not exactly the same, going the same way. As you can see, this one's a little bit lower than this one, and I absolutely love that. One thing I wish that they would have done is just had him stand there instead of kind of flying, but I can kind of see why they did that. There are some dirt spots on the mask. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but I'm not liking that, because it just does look like dirty spots and not like they painted it on there to be cool. But the shoulder pads are actually really nice. So they kind of I guess they took the whatever they used to paint it and just kind of like went back and forth to where they just kind of got this silverish, blackish paint over the purple shoulder pads. And then same with this one, only they put a Meta Knight emblem on it. I don't know if it's supposed to be sloppy or not, but the sloppiness I do think kind of makes it look cool. So yeah, there they are. I'm going to then go over each one real quick, give you kind of like final thoughts, and I'm going to give them this many points out of 5 or 10 or whichever one I decide to do on when I get the first one. Alright, so Mario here, he's got some problems with the eye, which I don't like, and some paint problems with the jeans. It's really a bummer, and I'm just not a fan of this pose whatsoever. I don't like the serious face or the angry face. Like, I don't mind serious face, but he looks angry here, so I just don't like that. So I'm going to give him like a I will do 3 out of 5 for him. Donkey Kong, he's got, I'm not the biggest fan of the paint applications and whatnot on him. I think that they could have made it a lot better. And then the pose I think is also really bad, so I'm going to give him a 3.5 out of 5. Fox is really cool. Not a big fan of the pose, once again, just personal preference. But everything else on him is really cool. The only things I would really change, as I kind of said earlier, the pose, the glassing over the eye, which is really a nitpick, and the blue stands. So I'm going to give him a 3.5 out of 5 as well, and that is mostly due to the blue stands. Luigi, he just looks awful in this pose. The forward planking pose is just actually really pathetic, but all in all, he's a really solid figure and really cool. I'm going to give him a 3.5 out of 5 as well. Diddy Kong here is actually really cool. If it weren't for his eyes, then I would probably give him a higher review, or a higher rating, but I'm going to give him a 3.5 out of 5, just like the last 3, because he's alright except for the eyes. And pretty much the paint job. I would have preferred it lighter, but it is better than Donkey Kong's paint job. Next is Captain Falcon. Absolutely love this figure. I do not like the pose, but the figure itself is really cool. I kept him in box for a while before finally deciding to open it. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 5 because he's just really cool. Sonic here, once again, not a big fan of the pose, but other than the pose, like, I can't think of anything they really did wrong with him. He's a really solid figure, really well built. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 5 too, because he was really cool. Dedede here is very heavy, very solid, though he does have a few minor nitpicking things with the paint job on him and some of the sloppiness. I absolutely love the pose he's in, which is the biggest thing for me, and I love this wide part that goes around his jacket and on the top of his hat here. So I'm going to flat out give this guy a 5 out of 5. I do believe he's the best one quality-wise out of all of these. And now, the last one, Meta Knight, I'll probably be a little bit biased because I waited an hour and a half to get this guy, and super excited for it, but all in all, he's a really solid built figure. They do have some paint applications that they kind of messed up, and the pose isn't the worst pose it could be, but I still would have preferred it, just him standing there instead of him kind of taking off, if that makes sense, with flying. So I'm going to give him a 4.5 out of 5. So he is almost awesome, but this one just didn't cut it for me to be the best, but still, he's really cool. So that is pretty much it with my review of this set of Amiibos. Wow, there were quite a bit of them. I think 9 of them that I did here. So thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to subscribe for more Amiibo reviews, more toy reviews, comic reviews, all that stuff. And until next time, Boba7772 out.